Okay, ladies, so I'm going to make a short video here taking you through our steps for MaxTraq. I'm going to go through it pretty quickly, but it's a video, so you are welcome to slow it down anytime. I'm sorry if it's really wobbly. I didn't have my tripod, this should just hopefully be a reference for you in case you get lost and you don't have me around to ask questions. I'm going to open MaxTraq, and then get in here, pull up one of my AVI videos that you're going to get off your cloud. I like to switch it to black and white. That's just me. It makes the contrast between things a little easier to deal with. So then the first thing you got to do, use your scaling calibration tool. I'm going to try and get this camera to be less wobbly. I don't know what your measure is yet, but let's just say it's 2, and everything is going to be in meters. You want to make sure the sound is turned on the computer. We'll make sure and get that figured out so the speakers are working, as you can hopefully hear. Now that's 2 meters. You get little confirmation sounds from the computer when you use MaxTraq. So let's see what I have written down next. Black and white. Then we're going to trim the video. We're going to come down here. We're going to trim the video. Trim, 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 trim. Let's get it to where the ball is starting to get sort of horizontal. That's probably a really good setup right there. So that's going to be my time 0. Trim all that stuff off. And then we're going to go out. It's a good one. We actually get it hitting the racket. And that's probably good, somewhat close to where we started. Okay. I'm going to come over to my points here. So I'm right here. I'm going to click it on 2. You can rename them if you want, but really use point 1 as the ball, and then we're going to use point 2 as the elbow. Alright, we're going to not use the racket unless we figure out a different way to do it. But the elbow is probably a lot better because it stays a little more stationary, doesn't rotate out like the racket does, so our distances can be a lot better. So I've got my point set. Alright, next what I want to do is, this might be out of step for the sheet, but it doesn't matter. Scroll back, let's get it to 0. And then I'm going to click on digitize, auto point. I don't need auto frame. I'm going to come up here, click the ball, click the elbow, and then I'm going to scroll all the way to the end, click the ball, click the elbow. Good there. I'm going to turn off digitize. I'm going to go up here. I'm going to get my little distance tool. 2 points. I got to find the little red X marks. Makes a sound. Oh, if I don't get it right on the X, it won't make it. There we go. So 1.5 meters. And then you should be able to go all the way back to the beginning. And there's your distance for the ball before it got into the racket. Alright, and we can use the elbow because the elbow really should be at the point where the ball hits the racket. It should be relatively close to the same distance minus the forearm. So we can use those distances, relatively speaking, from one another. So then all you do is, I've got my data sheet here. Okay, right, and I come back here. And I take a look down at the bottom here, or I can use this. There's a timer tool up here that I've been using the entire time. I can turn that on, and I can roll my seconds. So let's see how many seconds it takes it to get 1.3 seconds. I can use my arrow keys here on the keyboard to do this, or you can use the scrolling tools. You can even hold it down if you want to. Boop. 0.40 seconds. Plug that in. what was my distance again? 1.5 was it? 1.3. There's why my velocity that it went in. And then you can do this next part with the calculator if you need it. I created myself a little cheat sheet. Let's go into the racket. So this would be 0 again. It's or you can use 0.4 seconds. That's fine too. However you want to do it. So time 1. 4. I'm just having to do a subtraction here. And then we roll all the way out. 0.53. Again, I just created this little cheat sheet for myself. You could, if I had my calculator with me, that's a difference of 0.13 seconds. So 0.13 and 1.5 meters. Yeah, so that's a 3.25 meters per second in, 11.538 meters per second out. That makes sense. It just hit the racket. And then obviously this is one-handed backhand here. So that's a difference of 8.228. You can do that all the way down your sheet for one-handed backhand. And there it is. That's a MaxTraq analysis. That should kind of help you guys have a step-by-step. And if you have any other questions, just let me know.